decided to put a second zone in the back food garden. So I'm at the cattle panel. I'm at the beginning of the cattle panel. I'm on the ground, as you can see, because the wood chip is really close. Here is the cattle panel and what's left of my garden up under the cattle panel. You can see that some of the plants are looking pretty worse for the wear. It's actually hot. It was 101 degrees. It's probably still 101 degrees. The sun just went down, so I'm going to try to take off some of the draw from the main line by adding an additional zone. Now, this is a timer. It's old. I've had it for a long time. It's not the best because you actually have to read the manual. It's not an easy plug and play. You have to read the manual to make it work, but it does work. The problem with this one is the shutoff valve is a little wonky, so I have to see if this is going to shut off for me. If not, I will have to manually shut this off, which of course defeats the purpose. But for this example, and because I have it, it does shut on. Shutting off is the issue. I'm going to test it. This is what's going to go on the hose bib, and this portion is going to go into the top of the timer. I thought I needed a hose connector like this, but I'm not sure if I actually need it now. I think I still do, so we're going to play this one by ear to figure out how to make it work, because this needs to connect to the hose. The hose fits in the bottom, and then the hose is supposed to connect to here, but that's not going to work because then I will have to have a male connector, because it has to fit into that like that. We'll figure it out. But while we do that, this is an L joint right here, a wonky L joint that they had at the store. I'm not sure if I really like the way this works, but we'll see. And these are two T's. These are the Easy Connect T's, like the Easy Connect in the front garden for the sprinkler system. I found these, I think, at Walmart. Very surprised to see the Easy Connect there, so I grabbed those two. I think I got this one at the big box store, Lowe's or Home Depot, I'm not sure. And I want to say I got these two, and these are actually two different pieces. I'm trying to do this with one hand. These are two different pieces. This is like a filter, and this one is to make sure that nothing goes back up into your house water. So I'll have to put the names of these items in the description box below. This is to create a hose into your tubing, and of course the timer. So let's get started. I need to connect the existing hoses to the line itself, and we'll get going. All right, here we go. First, I'm going to take off the hose crimp. I hope you guys can see. There is a bend in the line, so I'm trying to take the hose crimp out. Now, in order to have this run, I'll have to connect it like that. Push all the way in. I hope you guys can see I'm right-handed. You push the line all the way in, and then you run your tube that way. Excuse me. You run your tube that way. Now, what I'm going to do on this end is I'm going to put a dummy line and then crimp it off. So I'll do that once I have everything connected. So I'm going to do this very same thing on the other line over there, and then I will begin to run the tubing towards the spigot. I'm trying to think. I may need to go in the house and get some already pre-cut tubing. I think I have some that might fit the distance between this tube and that tube. So let's make sure this is connected tight, and it feels like it is. I do have a pin down here that will have to go in the ground like so. So let's go see about the other side, getting the other tubing T-junction on. Here is the other tubing on the other side. And I'm trying to get this off. The tubing has been crimped for a while, so you have to make sure that you bend that back so it's not crimped. And again, I'm going to slide it in there like that all the way. Hope you guys can see, because I don't know what you all can see. And I'm squeezing the tube to make sure that it's not crimped. All right. And so now what I would need to do is run my line from here. See, there's water in the line, which is a good thing to see, but I need to take the pressure off of the main line. So that's why I'm adding this line here. And I'm gonna take the shut-off valve on the other end of this tube and shut it off so that the main line is no longer feeding this. All right, so I have some tubing before I go in the house and look for my shorter tubing. I have tubing here that I am going to run from here to the water spigot. So let's get the tubing. I hope you guys can see. I do apologize for the noise in the background. My neighbor's dogs are having a discussion. So you just push it in as far as it can go. There we go. And then I need to run this all the way down to the end of the walkway and put a elbow on it, and then back over to the water spigot. So let's do that. Before I set up the hose to the water bib, I decided to go ahead and tack this line down for right now so that it is not a tripping hazard. You don't want a tripping hazard. That would not work out very well. So I am tacking it down with landscape pens like so. Now I will be pulling it a little bit so that it's not bowed up right here, because this is a tripping hazard. So I'll be pulling it here as I am tacking it down behind me. I do have a landscape pen to do that. So let's get this elbow in and over. Place the elbow right about here, somewhere up in here. So I am going to I'm just going to cut the line right here. Try to cut it straight across, just like that. And now this one, like I said, I'm not 100% a fan of this one. I think I found this one at Walmart some while ago, well before I found the quick connect. This works like a quick connect, but it's a pain in the buttocks. And again, I'm right-handed, so you have to excuse me. Let me move you guys to the other side, just in case this arm is in the way. I hope this is a better vantage point, but you have to literally push the tubing down over this little round lip and into there, and then screw this down. But this always seems to want to leak, which is why I'm not a fan of it. Seems to be working right now, but and then you go ahead and you screw this down over the tubing, just like that. I will test it to make sure there is no leak, but again, I don't really like these, and I want to say these are the ones they're selling right now at Lowe's. I wish they had the quick connect. I think those work a lot better, especially if you have dexterity problems, or just because, I mean, who wants to be bothered with screwing these things on? Because I know I don't. So you just try to screw that in, push it in as tight as you can get it, and then screw it down. Hopefully I can, there we go. And then screw it down like that. Now I'm going to use this pin and try and push it into the ground so that I don't have a tripping hazard. And I do apologize for all the distractions. I needed to move the line this way to pull it taut. So, and of course, this is coming loose, which is again why I don't care for this. Oh, okay. And now I'm going to try and staple it back in, or tamp it back into the ground, trying not to injure myself. All right, so there we go. And let me show you what I've done so far. This is my elbow, and this is my main water line. And over there, excuse all my mess, but y'all know I'm working. I'm doing a lot of work trying to get some things done. Here's my cattle panel and my T. Now, I will be pulling this back a little bit more because I need a little bit more play in it right here. But I will put a piece of tubing right in here, then a dummy piece on the end and crimp it off, and then I'll test this out. This will be done. So let's go over and hook it all up. Right. I figured it out. I knew how to do it, but sometimes you have to talk yourself through some things. So I have the hose running from the elbow, as you all just saw, all the way over to here where the water hose mess is. Don't judge me. I am going to need another elbow, but for right now I'm going to leave this line long, so when I do get another elbow, I can attach it the way it needs to be attached. But right now I'm just going to leave it long. So I'm just going to cut right here and have some excess hose. That excess hose that I just cut is going to be the hose that I connect over in between the cattle panels. So now let me move you guys down over here because I don't want to knock the phone over again, because that's what happened to you all. Let's see, I keep hitting it. All right, so this is a kind of, let's just say like a water hose connector, this thing right here. And what you need to do, just like with the elbow, you need to push the hose, and I'm right-handed, so let's see if I can get you guys a better vantage. Can you guys see? So you push the hose inside of there like that, just like that. You push it in there as far as it can go, and then you screw. Can you guys see that? I'm sorry. You push it down as far as you can go, and then you screw this down over the hose, tightening it up around the hose, if that makes sense. Just like so. Just like that. Trying not to twist and bend and kink the hose while you do it. But again, I do apologize. I'm right-handed. And you guys are pretty close, but I wanted to give you guys a really good look. All right, so that's how that goes, and that's connected. And I am going to test everything to make sure that it does work properly. And I think that I pushed this a little bit too far, because as you can see, the little gasket popped out. So let me put that back in there, just like that. Now let's go over to the timer and get this out of y'all's face, and let's put the timer together. Okay, here's the timer. This fits onto here. I know it's weird. It's very weird. Got a lot going on over here. I had the hose bib, the hose attached here. I think I'm just going to put this one here for right now, just to test it out. So let's see if I can get it on here. Let's see, I might be going the wrong way. Yep, going the wrong way, girly girl. There we go. Get that on there like that. I know I got a lot going on over here, don't judge me. Okay, so that's that. Now this piece goes in the bottom down here, making sure everything is tight. that on there just like so. There we go. Now, I hope you all can see. Oh, you guys couldn't see. Let's try this again. So let's try this again. And I do apologize for all the noise. My air conditioner just kicked on. So you put this piece, the two pieces, right here. Just like that. Just like that. Making sure everything is tight. That way there are no leaks. And here is your hose. And then you take your hose, and again, I will need an elbow, because this is bending all kind of wrong. Let's see, which is why I need an elbow. Okay, I am going to have to, hold on. Okay, I got it on there. I don't know whether or not it's gonna leak or not, because it feels weird, but we'll see. I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna test it without you all being on here first, because I don't want my camera getting wet if it just sprays all over the place. And then I'll test it with you to see, well, to show you that it's working. Oh my goodness. I was so eager to get this tested. I realized that I didn't even add this line right here. So I just added it. I just took that extra line that I cut from over there by the spigot and added it here. So now I'm going to tack it down going that way, so that it is not a tripping hazard. At least I hope it's not going to be a tripping hazard until I can get everything in the way it needs to be. And then down over here, can you all see? Let me come see what you all can see. If you can see all the way down to the end. You can. So down here at the end, I am tacking it down right about here. Just like that. I have turned off the shut-off valves on both ends towards the back. I had two shut-off valves back there. I hope you guys can see where I'm pointing, but I shut those shut-off valves off so that that back line is not going to feed these two rows anymore. This tubing is going to water these two rows and the tire garden. That's what this is put in for, if you're wondering. So yeah, the cattle panel is going to be on its own watering timer, and the back garden and the orchard is going to be on its own watering timer. So I have a little bit of extra hose right here. I hope you all can see. Let me see if you can see. Let's move down. I'm going to add this entire extra piece of hose right here, just in case I need it down the line for some strange reason. I'm just going to add it into the quick connect right here, like so. Oh, there we go. I hope you guys can see. Come on. Ugh. Okay. And then I'm going to take this crimping tool right here, and I'm going to place it on the end of this tubing to crimp it off. That way no water is going to be flowing out this back end. And if I need later on to add something else to this line, then I can. So what I'm going to do, I have another stake somewhere. Let me get another stake, and what I'll do is I will stake this. I'm going to stake all of this right here so it doesn't move. You want to be safe in the garden, or at least as safe as you possibly can. So I am taking the excess and I'm staking it down right here so that it's not going to move around. All right, now it's time to test it. I do know from just a quick test before I put this line in that it is leaking at the filter. So I need to go get some like plumber's tape and see if that can stop it. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll test it, and then I'll come back and show you all. It was working. Let's see. All right. Not leaking. It was leaking. Not leaking. Let's walk. Not leaking at this joint. I hear the emitters working. I can hear emitters spraying. Not leaking that I can tell at this joint. Not leaking at that joint. I can hear emitters. They're not going. Okay, there we go. They're not spraying out a lot. That one's not spraying a lot. That one's dripping out nicely. Okay. You guys get the gist. This one is, that one's dripping out good. Put that one back in there. Let's see. That one's dripping out. Can you guys see? So they are dripping. That one's dripping. I need to go through, like here's one. This is a 360. It's really spurting out. So I need to change out a couple of them. Let's look at that one. If you can see in there, it's spurting out. That one's spurting out. And that one's spurting out. That one's spurting out. We've got, let's see, that one's spurting out. That one in there. So you guys are seeing that they are working. They are working. Oh, look at that one in there. Hold on, guys. They are spurting out better than they were before. And that's what the problem was. It was a pressure problem. Spurting out. All right, let's look at this one. That one in there is really spurting out, so I'm gonna have to change a few things. There is spurting out, one in there is spurting out. That's spurting out, that one is spurting out. These are actual drippers. As you can see, they are dripping, drip, drip, dripping away. They're actually pouring out. So that's what's happening here. So they're working. All the ones on the new line that I installed, they are working. I'm gonna have to spray this. This has a little green bug on there because that was not like that the other day. But that's not why you all are here. Let's take a look in here. I just want to make sure that I'm checking them all. Yep, they are all doing what they're supposed to be doing. So they are all spurting out. Let's see. Yeah, I've got a little green bug in here on my mustard greens. I got to deal with that. Yeah, they are spurting out nicely. Oh, would you look at that? I got baby mustards. Can you guys see that? That's how I know it was time to start sowing seeds. I've got babies popping up. And I sowed those seeds last week. I didn't take you guys along with me because it was a mad dash to get my stuff done. But I have now installed a new zone in the food garden. All right, everybody, it is getting late. The sun has gone down. It is well past time for me to get in and get ready for my bed. But as you all saw, and I hope it made sense, and I do apologize if it sounded a little chaotic, but I was working through it in my mind as I was doing it. It's hot, I'm sweaty. I got to get in and take care of myself and get out of this heat. It was 101. I'm sure it's still 100 degrees, if not high 90s. So I need to go inside. But I was able to get, like I mentioned, the cattle panel, literally both sides, everything. And I'll push you guys down. Y'all don't need to see me. I'm gross. I've been working. Both sides of the cattle panel, all those sprayers are now functioning the way they need to be. There's one that had a little bit less pressure, but I think it's because I need to adjust the head, and that's fine. And then I have the tire garden, which you can only see a tiny bit of over there, and that's fine. I've been working on some projects, so I don't want to show you all everything. I will do my best to give you all a tour at some point. I haven't given you all a tour in quite some time because the garden has been suffering. But that's neither here nor there. That's a part of the conversation. That will be a part of the conversation because of everything that's going on. There's heat waves all over the place. Here is no different. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for joining me in the garden tonight. I really appreciate everyone who watches my videos, subscribes to my channels, leave me comments. I want to say thank you in this video, because I probably I'm going to try to put a post up on my community board, but I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to my channel and all of those that have watched, but most definitely those who have subscribed. My channel is growing, and I'm grateful, so grateful for everyone who has contributed to that. My channel is well over 800 subscribers now, and I can't thank you all enough. When I started this journey back in 2000, I did not dream that I would even still be doing this now. It was just something to do to keep my mind busy as I occupied my hands in the way that I enjoyed occupying my hands. And as my life has changed and there has been transition, I have brought you all along, and you all have shown me that you are here for it. And I want to thank you so very much. There's still so much more. This is just the beginning, just the beginning. So I want to say thank you again, and I hope to see you either in my kitchen or my garden real soon. And as always, don't forget, like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe. Mwah. Thanks, everybody. Good night. Bye for now. Water.